Hello! So, if you didn't already know, I've been homeless for the past couple of weeks and I've been really enjoying it. I've had a lot of fresh air, countryside. I've been sleeping out in some of the best places in the New Forest and yeah, it's all been going pretty well. But I thought I'd share with you a weekend in my journey because the weekends are the only time I can switch my sleep pattern back to normality. I've been working nights for 2 years, 40 hours a week, and of course if I was to keep that routine at the weekend I'd be sleeping in daylight, so it wouldn't make for a good video all in pitch black. So I've switched my sleep pattern this weekend so I can show you what I've been doing. Enjoy! Right, one lantern. Hopefully I'll find accommodation soon, and until next time, all of you take care. So, around this time last year, if you remember, I was homeless, and 2017's been very good to me. I've got my own place. Posting the keys. 7 down. If you watched the start of my Scotland tour, you would have heard me say I didn't manage to take the tent that I wanted to take, which was the Slummit, because I was in the middle of a house move. I wasn't able to take the tent I wanted, which was the Slummit, so I'm stuck with me Pinnacle, just because I'm in the middle of a house move at the moment. So let's go and collect our guests. Yeah, I didn't end up taking the tent I wanted, and the reason I'd moved house is because I'd actually been homeless for 2 months to fund my Scotland trip. I didn't have the funds to do it, so I thought I'd go homeless for 2 months and then I'll take new property after. Give me time for deposit and my holiday. So that's how that started. If you watched earlier on, possibly that year, I kind of boasted about the other apartment I got. I was like, yes, I've just got my new apartment, this, that and the other. And then, yeah, 6 months down the line, I made myself homeless for 2 months to fund the Scotland trip. So I really hope you enjoyed that, because those 2 months were pretty crap. I was living in a cupboard, and yeah. Playing music and then try and get people in.
Do you want to play some music, get some people dancing? Start.
So I'm just counting down my final days in this company that I've been with for many, many years. I've reached the highest position possible within my capacity, and that's being in charge of 5 very large units filled with millions and millions of pounds worth of aircraft spares. So giving up this job was quite a hard decision, but I think it's the right decision. I'm giving up this wonderful opportunity to take on pastures new. I've no idea what those pastures are yet, but I'm sure everything will work out fine. So It's literally just saying goodbye to a place that I've know like the back of my hand, and start something new. So it's been a few days now since I quit my job, and I'm just getting over the shock of leaving a company that I've been with since 2011, and now I've got my next problem, which is clearing out my apartment. And as you can see, it's a hell of a mess at the moment. I've got all my furniture here, bed's already gone, sleeping on the floor, TV's gone, and at the moment I'm just tidying things up. So I haven't got time to sell any of my stuff, so it's really impractical for me to take pictures and list it all. I'm just giving it all away to charity shops, so soon I'm going to be left with no possessions, no money, no home, no job, and no future. So I've been doing some big thinking over the last few days and deciding what I should do next. And I don't think general employment's going to work for me anymore, because I haven't really got any big qualifications. So it's either go back and get some more education or try to open my own business. So I'm going to do exactly that. I'm going to try and open a business. Now, the perfect business for me would probably be a pub, because they're easy to set up, easy to run. You just buy and sell drinks. So today I'm looking at 3 premises, 2 in Bournemouth and 1 in Durrington. And let's see if it opens my eyes a little to what possibilities are available. So I've decided I'm going to open a bar restaurant. Now, it's a pretty ambitious task to open a bar restaurant, so my first step is to get some bar experience. So I'm heading out to Amsterdam. I've got some work experience out there where I'm going to be cleaning in bars, wiping tables, serving customers, pouring pints, and just getting a general idea of how it all works. So I'm going to be taking the National Express 14-hour coach ride, because it's a lot cheaper than flying, and right now I haven't got the money. So that's my next plan. Now, I haven't had much luck with National Express recently. The last time I was on National Express, I had 2 illegal immigrants, 1 in the baggage area and 1 in the back of the engine, and my coach got delayed 2 hours because we were trying to get them out, and he was pretty well hidden in the back of the engine.
How many under? Because you're going to go under the checking.
And then the time before that, I was sat at the back of the coach. The coach crashed and I got showered with glass. Yeah, it was a bit of a mess, and my seat fell off. It turns out my seat wasn't attached properly, so I was held there with my seatbelt and my seat just went whoop. So yeah, I haven't had much luck, but Amsterdam's where I'm heading next. been in Amsterdam for 5 days now. I've been volunteering at local bars and pubs to gain some kitchen experience, and that's so I can open up my bar restaurant. But in the meantime, I've actually entered a Mr. contest for Mr. Thailand. That was great fun. And tomorrow I've got my first real serious business meeting. I'm going to be meeting an investor who's hopefully going to fund my business. So wish me luck. So I've just checked into this hotel prior to my meeting. It's 176 euros and 64 cents for one night, so a bit on the pricey side, but I'm hoping today's meeting is going to go really well, and hopefully he's going to invest in my business idea. And if that all goes ahead, then we're on stage 2 to get this business up and running. So yeah, 1 hour's rest before I head out.
Second floor.
So I've just come back from my business meeting. The figures are quite high and it was a really intense meeting. The loan is going to cost a rent of 6,000 a month, and the repayment of the loan is also going to be a minimum of 6,000 a month, so I might have to pay back up to 20,000 every month on this loan. See what happens.
Oh, I've got a camera.
So right now I'm staying at a city that's about an hour and a half away from Amsterdam centre, and that's a city called Den Bosch, and I'm staying with my friend. She's let me stay in this little apartment, and basically I need to now design a plan where I'm going to get my hands on 80,000 euros. I need 80,000 euros capital to get my investor to invest in me as protection money. That's kind of his protection money plus startup money before he gives me the rest. So yeah, I'm gonna sit down and think how I can make 80,000 euros. Right, so my next business meeting has been confirmed for next Thursday, so that gives me exactly 5 days to come up with 80,000 euros. So I've just booked myself back into the Botel, and that's a floating hotel cruise ship that sits on the Amsterdam River. And basically I'm going to stay there until I know what's happening next. So in the meantime, I'm going to email some properties to see if there's any apartments available to live should my business take off. And if not, I'll be heading back to the UK. So yeah, in 5 days, I'm going to know exactly what's going on. So I've just come to this Buddhist temple, and I'm going to pray for good luck. So I can see my hotel over in the distance, and it's the Botel over there. So I've got a week in this Botel to try and raise 80,000 euros and create a viable business plan so that I can get the investor on board. So it's going to be an intensive 5 days and a lot of planning. Well, this is my room on the Botel and it's really nice. So even if I don't get the business, I'm going to enjoy 5 days staying on board. Well, the Botel is definitely one of the most unique places I've ever stayed. And from my window I've got a view of a submarine. So yeah, really interesting. So I've spent all of today doing a bit of market research. I've been visiting all the local pubs and bars trying to find out exactly how much they earn, how much they sell goods for, how much they buy the goods in for, and what the average daily takings are. And to be honest, most people are very secretive about it, so I had to do a lot of detective work. But I've come up with a business plan. The expenses are a lot higher than I anticipated, so I'm not quite sure how to deal with that yet. But today I visited my storage unit. Well, it's not mine, a friend's got a storage unit nearby and they let me use it. So got some fresh clothes and tomorrow's a new day. So yeah, still waiting on the money. Now, I didn't want to talk too much about numbers and exact figures for business because it's quite a private issue. But from my market research, I found one business was taking 1,852 euros in a single day just on wet sales. And my business plan is based roughly on those figures. So I'm going to pay a rent of 5,000, maybe more, goodwills of 7,000, 2,400 for gas and electric and water, a music license of 100, a few other things. And the total expense is 35,450 euros every month. So I need to pull in more than 35,450 euros every month to cover all my expenses, my staff, and just about enough to give me a wage. So at the moment, that's going to be a real challenge. So I've just checked myself into the Crown Hotel, which is smack bang in the middle of the red light district. It's a nice little room, it's got everything I need, and it's positioned directly opposite the premises which I intend to open. So hopefully by looking out the window for the next few days, I'm going to judge how many people walk past and how much business I'm likely to get through the door. That way I can make a realistic estimate of my business plan. So I've had some great news today. The bank is willing to lend me €20,000. So I decided to call up my investor and cancel the appointment and reschedule for the 12th of December. Hopefully that will buy me some more time to try and crack some more money from people and yeah, hopefully start this business. So it's about 8 o'clock on a Sunday and I've just had a quick call for an appointment for another business meeting. So I'm just going to quickly change into some nicer clothes and then I'll go and meet this gentleman. Well, I got an interesting proposal from my business meeting yesterday. I was offered €127,500 for a 50% share of the business. So I'd have to pay that back and give away 50% of my profits. So at the moment it sounds a bit of a no-no, but I'm going to think it over. So, I've just booked myself a meeting with the guy who owns the gambling machines in the bar I want to buy, so maybe he'll have some investment money for me. So today I met the man who owns the gambling machines in the property that I want to rent, and of course the gambling machines are still inside, so I've been speaking with him about investment and he's not willing to lend any money at the moment. But what he has said is that we can keep the machines there and take a percentage of the winnings on a 60-40 split. So that's good news if we get the place. And I had a second meeting today with the previous accountant from the business that I want to take over. So now I've got the exact figures from the accountant of how much the business makes and how much I can expect to make from it once I take it over. So yeah, that's been really helpful. Well, due to the cost of staying in hotels in Amsterdam, it's working out quite expensive. So I've decided for the next few days, I'm going to head back to the UK. So I've just booked a 14-hour National Express ticket. And yeah, just sneaking my food out the room because they don't allow food. So yeah, let's get rid of that. Some good advice, always sit in front of the toilet. That way you have extra leg room from the heater, and you have the toilet behind you, and you can recline as much as you want.
Right, ladies and gents, welcome to Euro Disney. Sorry, I mean Eurotunnel. Same thing, grey, dull, boring, overly expensive, usually full of 500 school kids. You bang in the middle of the train. Front or back, take your pick. 3 toilets, either direction. First class is on the roof, the buffet car comes through halfway through. And if you've been on Eurotunnel before, you know I'm lying. There is nothing to do for the next 45 minutes, folks.
So I got back around midnight last night and the remainder of my journey was freezing cold because I was on the motorbike. I literally had to stop about 4 or 5 times just to get some feeling back in my fingers. But I've just been in my fridge and noticed the freezer compartment up top has defrosted, so it looks like that's on the way out. But on the positive side, I'm going to cook myself up a nice full English breakfast and enjoy the remaining few days I've got here before clearing out everything and leaving this apartment completely empty. So yeah, let's get some eat. Well, there's breakfast. Let's eat. So, I had a nice relaxing day yesterday and I celebrated my 8,000 subscribers on YouTube by donating food to Cats Protection and the Pedigree Adoption Drive. But today, it's all back to business and packing. I've got to clear my home, so yeah, I'm making contraptions like this out of belts, sellotape and bits of cord so that I can transport my bags to the charity shop because, well, this one here, it weighs probably about 25-30 kilos, so I've got to make some strong strap device to hold it to me. I've literally got nobody I can call, no real friends. You know, you have like 300 friends on Facebook, but the second you call them for help, straight out the window. So I'm all by myself and I've got to get everything clear in the next few days. So it's going to be very busy. So my big investment meeting is just 2 days away. I've booked myself another National Express ride, 15 hours on the coach, and I've booked myself into a hostel this time because the funds are running short. So I'm staying at a budget hostel. It's £20 a night and that includes breakfast, so can't grumble at that. I've managed to raise 40,000 euros out of the possible 80,000 I need. So I'm hoping that's going to be enough to sway the investor and make him invest in me and just give me that chance. But today I've got the CVs through, 2 members of staff who I've got ready to work, both professional chefs, and they've got the social hygiene qualifications, so they'll be able to serve alcohol and serve the public. So that's where we're at the moment, 2 days away. We'll find out if it's make or break. So this is my last chance to get all of my business plan in order. I've got to make sure all the figures tally up and that there's no discrepancies when I go into that meeting. If there's one slip up, I could break the deal. So yeah, all of these figures are pretty high numbers. Just look at those numbers. They're in the hundreds of thousands. And that's what I'm going to be discussing, talking about, and what I can potentially earn in the future. So it's big numbers, it's high game, and I'm really hoping it goes to plan. So it's Wednesday the 11th of December and it's 5 o'clock in the morning, which means I have exactly 50 minutes to get my bike to the other town, park it up and then jog 20 minutes to the bus stop. So gonna make a very quick move. So now I'm just walking to town. Got my suitcase and I got about 15 minutes to get to the bus stop, so might have to jog.
Toutes les tables dehors, là, toutes les terrasses qui sont. On a arrêté sur même tous les festivals qu'il y a et tout.
So I've just arrived in Sloterdijk. I've got to take a walk to the store. It's about half an hour. Well, that's the hotel I stayed at for my business meeting. But I've got about a 20-minute walk now to my storage unit so I can drop this suitcase off. This is filled with costumes from the Bournemouth Thai Fair, so I'm returning them. Well, I think my arm's about to fall off, but I'm finally here. So there's 3 suitcases in there already, all filled with costumes from the Bournemouth Thai Fair, the Liverpool University event, and now this is the last case to come back. And in here it's got all the feathery things and crowns. But there's still 1 bag of costumes in the UK. That's staying in the UK by a friend, and that's in case we get any more shows and we're going to need access quickly to costumes. So let's throw this bag in. So I've got the top bunk bed and people are starting to look at me because I'm talking to my camera, but I've got a guest below me, so this room is pretty much full right now. Let's get breakfast. So it's 11:30 in the morning, and I've already popped down for breakfast this morning, and everyone who was in this room sleeping last night has checked out. So room service has been in, they've cleaned all the beds, and I've got the whole dormitory to myself. So yeah, that's pretty nice. Today's obviously the big meeting, so I'm going to find out if it's make or break. So right now I need to get in for a shower, get my papers ready, and yeah, begin the day. So that's the hostel, and it's €13 a night, and that includes breakfast.
Ja. Breakfast in Untitled.
Oké, maar dat gebeurt mij ook wel eens.
Ja. Ik vond het best wel.
Thank you very much. So I'm just going to have some quick food before I go for my business meeting, and that's in 20 minutes time, so it's going to be a very intense meeting, probably going to last a couple of hours, and then we'll know the outcome. Fingers crossed. So I'm about to walk into the meeting with my accountant. I've got my business plan here. Let's just hope it goes well. So we've just finished the business meeting, and it was very successful. They're happy to give me the 255,000, plus they're going to give me the premises that I'm looking for. The only downside is they're scared the municipality may close us down because it's a very suspicious transaction. I'll only be investing €40,000 myself, so that means I'll only be buying the drink and food. So for them to give me all of the money is a very strange occurrence. So we've got to find a legal way around it, and there's another meeting on Monday. That will be the final meeting. That will be make or break. So I went to the casino last night to celebrate, but I didn't expect I'd have to come back for another meeting. So I'm actually on the way back to the UK now, and I'm going to have to come back again on Monday. So soon I'll find out if that restaurant's mine or not. So right now I'm waiting for the bus to take me to the coach station because I'm heading back to the UK. Obviously I didn't anticipate having to come back for another meeting on Monday, so obviously I'm going back for 1 or 2 days, and then I'm heading straight back here again for what I hope is the last meeting. I got hardly any sleep in the hostel last night. There was a young lad doing naughty things, racking up on all of the lockers and things, and pacing around the room all night, switching on the lights. So yeah, terrible night's sleep. But I had a good breakfast, celebrated in the casino yesterday with a few friends, and yeah, back to the UK for 2 nights. So it's now Sunday and I'm just lying here in my empty apartment, and tomorrow I find out if my crazy idea of opening a Thai bar restaurant is going to become a reality. So I've reevaluated all my expenses now that I've got the official figures, the tax reports and the accounting information, and I'm going to have to pay a rent of €5,000 a month, €7,000 a month for goodwills up to the value of 255,000 plus interest, utilities at 2,400 a month, music license at 100 a month, TV, internet and till 200 a month, rubbish collection 150 a month, and 5,600 for staff. So that's €20,450 a month just on expenses. I've then got the food and drink, which is another €26,000 every month to restock. Could be more, could be less. It depends on what we sell. But I've just been informed by the investor that they're going to call me up with their decision. So I no longer need to go back to Amsterdam to find out. So it's literally just waiting on a phone call now. I know this video has been a bit erratic throughout because obviously I didn't intend on doing this. I didn't intend on giving up my job and then going to open a £250,000 restaurant. So the whole thing's been a bit of a crazy journey. And it's been a lot more hard work than it probably looks in this video because I'm being very happy about it. Oh yeah, going to see the investor. The reality is it's constantly on the phone, phoning banks, phoning loan companies, speaking with people day in, day out and going to meet people at very short notice. And I've probably spoke to about 36 different investors, and that includes the banks and loan companies. So it's been really chaotic. It's been a really hard journey. So I'm hoping it all pays off. And tomorrow we get a yes. If not, we'll see what happens next. So today is Monday and there's 3 big things happening today. The first of which is I'm giving away all of my furniture. So all the tables, chairs and wardrobes that I've collected over the past year are all going to Pramacare. Now that's a charity shop that helps the elderly by providing care services in the local community. So I think that's probably the best place that this stuff could go. Secondly, I'm expecting my big phone call. So we're going to find out today if I've got that restaurant or not, or if there's going to be another delay. I really hope not. I just hope it's a simple yes and then I can get on with the business. And the third thing is I was contacted this morning to say that I've got a property in Amsterdam centre for €650 a month. Now, anyone who knows that area will know it's bloody expensive, and for €650, that's an incredible rate to get an apartment, all inclusive of bills. So 2 positive things today, and 1 we're still waiting on. So the Prama charity shop guys have just come in, and to my complete surprise they've only taken the valuable expensive tables. So the solid wood oak table and the mahogany table have both gone, along with a few little trinkets that they deemed worth value. But they've left me with the wardrobe, they've left me with all the small tables, the sofa and the little dressing cabinet. So I was a bit taken back by that. I was really hoping that they were going to take everything. And yeah, now I'm stuck with this, and I've got a few days to clear the flat still before obviously I move out. So yeah, what to do now? So about 30 minutes ago I just got off the phone to the investor and his lawyer, and they said to me they found a loophole to get around the municipality problem, and the way they would do that is bring in a third-party investor who would invest €50,000, and the main investor that I've got already would invest €205,000. So yes, it's a go-ahead. I've got the restaurant, I've managed to start a business from scratch, and in the meantime I completely forgot about making my video, so I literally just necked a whole bottle of Stella. Yeah, I'm feeling good right now. The only downside is I still have to get rid of this mega wardrobe, this dressing table, but and the sofa. But as for the small tables, I found another charity shop that was willing to take those, and that was the Mage Charitable Trust. You may remember them from my fashion show video, and they were more than happy to take those, but it's only a small shop, so they couldn't take the rest. It looks like I'm going to be breaking the furniture up. So today I've got the fun job of smashing up this sofa and that wardrobe and getting it into bin bags. If I can't get it in bin bags, I'm going to have to hire a skip, and that's 250 quid for a load and weight. So let's smash it up. So, as you can see, the sofa is now completely demolished. Now onto this one. So, as you can see, I've completely disassembled my wardrobe and sofa. And as for the big pieces of wood over there, they go into a fire pit. Somebody who's got a big old fire pit, they've said I can take the big pieces there. But it's a 2-mile walk with that. So going to be fairly busy tonight. As for the black bags, I'm going to put them out with the rubbish. So yeah, fairly successful day. And I've saved myself 250 plus quid on a skip. So it's now midday and I've just received a very important phone call from the lawyer. They're very concerned about the effects of Brexit and what it might do to me living in the Netherlands and owning a business. Now obviously there's certain exemptions if you own a business that you'll be able to stay over there. But since I haven't got an address yet, if Brexit was to start its procedures over the next couple of weeks, it could make my life very difficult. And in that instance, it's actually caused a bit of doubt for the investor. So I need to come up with an idea to get around that. And I'm not sure what to do yet. But basically, there's another meeting tomorrow back in Amsterdam. So everything has to go in this house today because, yeah, the tenancy runs out this week. And if I'm in Amsterdam, I'm not going to come back in time. So I've got to pack everything away, hand the keys back. And yeah, I think, to be honest, it's all going in the bin. So, as you can see, my flat's completely empty. I've got 20 minutes to catch my coach in Ringwood, so yeah, I'm going to have to make a move.
the stairs and the deck number.
So I'm on the ferry right now, and due to the strikes in France it's been delayed 4 hours, so we're stuck in the middle of the ocean for 4 hours before we can go into Calais. Well, my 3-hour delay has just turned into a 4, possibly 5-hour delay, so it means we're just floating around waiting to dock. They've got one team working, so they can take one boat at a time. And I think I'm going to arrive in Amsterdam, yeah, about 5 hours late.
Half an hour's time. When we get on the berth, it's I'm unsure as to whether we'll be able to discharge the traffic or not, but we'll take that as it comes in about half an hour's time. So on the way into Calais now, and apologies again for these delays.
So it's 11:30, I've just arrived back in Amsterdam, several hours late. I need to get to the store, get ready, and then make my way to this meeting, maybe get something to eat as well. So I've been to the store, but there's nowhere to freshen up, so I don't know if you've heard of an app or a website called couch surfing, sofa surfing, whatever it was, but I've got somebody who's going to lend me an address to get ready and get sorted. So this is the place. I just hope it's not a murderer. So I've just freshened up using one of the houses on the sofa surfing website, and now to get past this Brexit problem and the business bank account, I'm going to meet up with Lynn. We've got a solution, but I need to get Lynn on board. So she's got Dutch citizenship and it could make my life a lot easier. So yeah, let's go. So the final investment meeting is in 15 minutes. I'm just here with Lynn. We're going to meet with my accountant, we're going to meet with the lawyer, and obviously the big investor, and hopefully today we can get things sorted. But I've got a little plan with Lynn which could find a loophole around the Brexit and bank account issue. So I'll explain more later, but let's get to the meeting.
Yes, I agree. Yes, because then and every time, if you pay this every month, and in 6 months you have 25,000, and you think I give already back, then
350,000ถ้าเจ้า7ขึ้น
อุ้ยสุดยอด
รู้ตลอดเพราะหนูรู้เลยปุ๊บ
โอ้ไม่เอาหัวไอ้นางใจคือต้องใช้ไปทางลินนี่แหละที่จะคิดให้ลินพูดเรื่องมาร์กลาหนึ่งเพราะว่ามันครั้งแรกของหอสารคาถามเขาโดยตรงลินก็เลยเริ่มต้น
So So here we are once again back on the Botel, and the reason we're on the Botel is because it's only £33 a night, which is incredibly cheap. And as far as the meeting was concerned today, it was an absolute success. I now have the contract. I am the new owner of a Thai bar restaurant in the centre of Amsterdam's red light district. So had a few drinks earlier to celebrate, but now I'm going to talk about the figures. So obviously I've got to transfer money from the English bank accounts to the investor, the main investor, so that it covers his deposit. So I'm going to go back to the UK tomorrow, another long coach ride, and transfer funds to his account. And then around the 14th of January, a third-party investor is going to transfer €50,000 to my main investor. Then I'll have to pay the third-party investor back his money, plus the main investor, plus all the loans, banks and individual people in between that I've tried to borrow money from. So yeah, the business is officially mine. Well, not on paper anyway. On paper, I've had to put it in Lynn's name, which is where we're getting around the Brexit issue, the whole uncertainty of Brexit, and the fact I haven't got Holland address yet. So I've had to put the business in her name so she can open the business bank account, get everything started, and so I've got an address to send mail to that's in Holland. So on paper, Lynn's got a new business, but I'm responsible for all the money, the finances, the restaurant itself. So it's going to be a lot of work. And then at a later date, when I've got all settled in Holland, we'll transfer it all back to me, but I'll have to put a little bit of money in there to make it look like a legitimate transaction. So that's the way we've got around the issue at the moment. I'm officially the owner of the restaurant, and I think this journey's been an absolute success. So yeah, looking forward to opening it up. So I've just arrived back in Ringwood. I'm walking back from the coach station, and obviously I was going to pick up my bike and go back to my apartment, but that's not going to happen because I haven't got an apartment. So I've just made a couple of last minute calls to see if I can stay somewhere tonight, and it's not looking promising. And that's locked off. Okay. So I found a place to stay last night, and it's in this storage room. So there's a lawnmower, a washing machine and loads of other bits in here. This room is packed. But today I need to get an early start, get to the bank and transfer that money. So yeah, let's get started. So right now I'm on my way to the bank, and that's to make my first initial 2 transactions, one of €5,000 and another of €5,000 plus Holland tax, which is 21 cents. So it's actually €6,050. It's a lot of money, but it's what I need to send today to seal the contract. So let's go. So there's a bit of the story missing at the moment, and that's that before I went back to Holland, I actually went to the agency to hand back my keys and they wouldn't accept them. So I'm actually back at my old apartment again now, and that is so I can meet the landlady to give her the keys back, who I must say has been exceptional throughout my tenancy. But today I've transferred the money to the bank account, €11,050, and that's gone directly to my investor. So that initiates my contract and gets everything started. But for now, I'm just going to quickly give one more hoover over the place and just tidy it up so that it's absolutely spotless for the next people who come in. And yeah. So, had a nice easy day yesterday, nice and relaxed, and had an early Christmas dinner, because obviously I'm not going to be here Christmas, so sat down with the family, roast dinner on the lap, and just had an enjoyable, relaxing day. But today it's back to business. I've been phoning all of my bill companies. That's the Council Tax, Wessex Water, Bournemouth Water, Scottish Southern Electric, TalkTalk. TalkTalk was an absolute nightmare, transferring me all around the country to all these non-English speaking people to cancel my account, and I'm still not sure if it was cancelled after 30 minutes of speaking with them. So yeah, absolute nightmare. But today I've got to get back down the bank. I've got to transfer another 2,500 euros over there, and that's to buy initial stock, food and drink. And then I've got to book another National Express ticket and get back on the coach today, because tomorrow I've got a meeting at the notary at 1:30 in the afternoon. So it's going to be another very, very busy day. So I've just been to the bank and transferred another 2,500 euros, and that's to buy the initial food and drink stock for the restaurant. And while I was downtown, I picked up this lovely card for the folks back home, and I'm just going to quickly fill that in, stick a few £100 in, and that'll be Christmas sorted. It's quite a bad year this year, because obviously I'm not going to be here for Christmas, and most of my family are suffering with severe health problems. So we didn't get the chance to have the family meal, the gather round or anything. And yeah, everything's a bit of a struggle at the moment. So I'm hoping this opportunity to go and make some real money, I'll be able to help them out in the future. So I'm really hoping this business venture is going to be successful, if not just for me, but for them as well. So I'm just on my way to the coach station for what I hope is the last time, and then tomorrow a business trip to the notary, and I'll be the new owner of the Thai bar. So right now the ferry's completely empty. There's only like 25 cars on the whole ship. So yeah, I'm guessing it's pretty light tonight, and that's why it's so wavy. But yeah, surprising. I would have thought, kind of like everyone going away for Christmas, this place should be full, but it's empty. So it's 8 o'clock in the morning, and I've just arrived in Sloterdijk, and it's absolutely tipping it down with rain. So all I'm going to do is make my way to the store, try and get some rest, and get freshened up for my meeting at 1:30. So there's not really much I can do in the way of freshening up, so I've just put a bit of deodorant on, smell fresh, and I'm sure I can use the rain to comb my hair over. But I'm trying to get hold of Lynn at the moment. She's not picking up the phone, and in 3.5 hours we've got that meeting, and if she doesn't turn up to sign that paperwork, I could have a really awkward situation. So I'm going to keep trying phoning her and just hope she picks up that phone. It's yeah, quite annoying at the moment. So I've just met up with Lynn. I haven't had time to make any videos, but we're now on our way to the notary. So we're going to go inside and hopefully get these contracts legalised, signed and apostilled. .14 almost. You okay to sign your name, everything?
Yeah,
Good.
I think so.
Everything gonna be yours.
Oh ja, want de code, die krijgt ook nog. Ja.
So this is the A location, and I am officially the new owner of an A location $250,000 restaurant. Looking good. What color we have today? I think purple, red, pink. Yeah, blue's nice. So, thank you for joining me on this crazy adventure of starting a €250,000 restaurant from, well, from nothing really. So yeah, it's been absolutely crazy. There was no intention of doing it from the start. And as far as those of you who are concerned about my motorcycle channel, I'm going to make a special trip back every month to film one motorcycle vlog, possibly a tour up around the country. But that's what I'm going to try and do, live up to the promise of keeping that going. So right now, once again, thank you for joining me on this journey. I hope it's given you some inspiration if you're thinking of starting your own business, and I'll do an update after I've got the place up and running. So I'll see you next time. So obviously I've been out shopping all day today, and I've stacked up on all the different types of glasses. So I've got the shot glasses, tumblers, wine glasses, champagne glasses, pints, half pints, and everything else that I need to run this bar. The only thing I'm missing, which is quite a big thing to be honest, is all of the drink. At the moment I've only got champagne since it was on offer and available in the shop. But as for the beer, spirits, rum, whiskey, nothing yet. So today's open day might not be so big if that doesn't turn up soon. So I've just had my first delivery of beers, and obviously it's Thai beer because it's a Thai bar. So I've got Chang and I've got Singer, and then there's another 3 crates under there filled with more beer. So we're good on the Thai beer. I've also got some Mekong whiskey, still waiting on the rest, and I've just given them a call. They said it'd be about 5 o'clock. So, as you can see, I'm now fully kitted out with drinks. I've got all the spirits, whiskey, rum, vodka that I need to start serving and get this business open. But it came at a cost. Today there was 2 bills. The one for the glasses was €969.03, and the one for the alcohol was €1,717. So it's been quite an expensive day, but hopefully we're going to pull some money in tonight and make that cash back. So let's get started. So the first 4 days of business has been absolutely incredible, but after day 1 I developed a very severe flu, so working a 15-hour shift with the flu is not great. But the money's pouring in, the drinks have been restocked again today, so everything's selling pretty well, and I'm getting an idea of what's the best selling and what really doesn't move. Yeah, there's some drinks in here people just, well, I wouldn't even touch them, they're pretty gross, but yeah. The business seems to be working pretty well. I've got the chef starting today. We've just brought in all the food, and we've got a part-time cleaner, and I've got a new manager. So hopefully everything's going to work out. Hopefully the money's going to pour in, and I'll let you know more in a few weeks. I'll catch you later. Right, so it's Sunday the 15th of March, and at 6 o'clock today the whole of Amsterdam went on lockdown because of coronavirus. So that means all bars, cafes, clubs, pubs, the red light district, the coffee shops, the museums, everything's been completely closed and will probably remain closed for the next few weeks. The only thing that is still open is the supermarkets, which is good because people keep buying toilet rolls. And because so many people keep buying toilet roll, I've now had to buy a load of toilet roll to make sure that I've got toilet roll when all the toilet roll disappears. So yeah, we're good for toilet roll at the moment. As for the business, obviously it's been a few months now, and the only positive thing I can say about this coronavirus outbreak is that the sales of the Corona beer has gone through the roof, and yeah, it's given me time to make this video, which is an absolute positive because it's been too long since I posted anything to YouTube. So in general, the bar's running as a success. I've got a nice choice of liquors now, and spirits, vodkas and things that I can find out what sells and what doesn't, and it's given me time to see how the business works and how it operates. And one of the most shocking things I found throughout my time here is how much money these things make. These gambling machines, or as they call them over here, cog machines, they make so much money. It's literally, I don't know, you can make like, between these two machines, they probably pull in about 8,000 euros in a month. So obviously then you have to take the tax off, and you have to split it with the owner on a 60-40 split. But still, it's a lot of money. It like really contributes towards the rent. Business in general is up and down. Weekends are always full. Lots of English people here, so it feels a bit like home. And of course, all the Dutch in Amsterdam speak perfect English. So it really is what it is. It's an Englishman running a Thai bar in the middle of Holland. Doesn't make much sense, but it works. And yeah, it would be nice to get a trip back to the UK and get some use on that motorbike again. At the moment, I've sawned it, so it's completely off the road. Obviously the MOT's ran out now, so when I go back it's probably going to need some severe maintenance. So this is the kitchen, and it's a fairly new kitchen as the whole thing was only fitted in 2019. And of course, to go with the new kitchen is my new menu. I designed this myself, and of course all the meals I had to think up with the Thai community because I need to know what they eat and what should be on a Thai menu, as I'm not too familiar with it myself. But of course, the things highlighted in red are the main things that people tend to go towards when they go to a Thai restaurant, and that's the pad Thai, the green and red curry, and crispy pork and crispy beef. They're kind of like the best sellers, and they're good portions, good sizes. And the chef that I've got here has been a professional chef by Royal Siam for about 20 years. So the food's really good, it's quickly cooked, it's all fresh, and it's out the door in seconds. And a big pad Thai for 10 euros, which is about 9 quid. I think it's a fair price, and for everything cooked fresh, all the meat from the local farms, it's just a really good menu. And I don't normally eat much Thai food, but since I work here, I pretty much eat it every day now. And I'm thinking the only way I can move forward now to get more customers in is to kind of put a bit of a European twist on it. So obviously we've got the Isan snacks, which are more towards like people from Thailand. They buy special from the Isan snack menu. But if I could do something like a Thai spicy burger, you know, you walk past a Thai restaurant, you think, oh, do you fancy Thai? Oh, nah, we'll go with the pizza. But if I can kind of offer like a Thai spicy pizza or a Thai spicy burger, you know, a bit of chili, bit of garlic, a few Thai herbs, or whatever else goes in a burger, maybe that can be the next move. But I certainly need to look at the marketing now. I need to look at getting on Facebook. I need to look at opening up some pages, a website, and just looking at ways to grow the business. I think the design in here is okay. I've put up a few of these decorations. It's not much at the moment, but it's a work in progress. And I've got a whole storage unit that I've got access to that's filled with like these little trinkets and things. So ideally, I want to completely clutter this place up. I want it to be an absolute mess. So when you walk in, it's not too claustrophobic, but claustrophobic enough to make you think like, oh, this is a really dark, dingy bar. Really get the feel of Thailand when you come in here. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at with the business at the moment. It's pulling in money. Let me just see if I can run a quick report on the computer. Here we go to the financial sector. Financial, let's have a look what we made in January. So the first month of business in January, so we'll go from, let's start it just before, what have I done there? Let's go to the January, actually we go back to December, we go to the 27th, because that's the date when we opened the cash register. And then we'll go to the end of January, so that'll be the 1st of February. Generate. And now we'll find out exactly, I don't know myself actually, because we pay the taxes every 3 months, so it'll be interesting to know how much tax I'm going to roughly be looking at paying at the end of this month, especially when I'm going to be out of business for 3 weeks and I still have to pay the staff their wages because they're on annual salary. So when that loads, hopefully we'll see exactly how much money I made in January. But everything else in here is kind of nice. It's good to have the TVs on the wall. In my free time I can relax and watch some of my old motorcycle tours, which is always good. And we're looking at bringing in a karaoke system. Now, karaoke is a bit hit and miss. You know, sometimes you get some good singers and you can chill and relax and get a nice table of friends all gathering together and doing what they do. Or you can get a really terrible singer that can completely clear out the bar in minutes. And obviously that little machine on there, we gave it a trial before we get the professional one in, and it's just, yeah, it's one of those things. If somebody sings terrible, you'll wipe the bar out. So in January I made 20,519 cash and 6,027 euros by pin, so that's a total of 26,547 euros 60 cents with the orders completed. So yeah, that's a lot of tax. I really can't believe I made that much money in January. I've got a 3-month cooling off period with the investor, so I haven't got to pay back money for 3 months, only the basic rent. I don't have to pay for the kitchen or the interest or anything, just the basic rent. So I've actually made quite a lot of money. I'm quite happy with that. The final thing I want to talk about is recycling. Now, recycling for me is quite important. It's obviously good for the environment and it helps save money in the long run. So all of the drinks I've got in here, like the water, the iced tea, the Sprite, the orange juice, the Fanta, the Coca-Cola, everything like that, when it's finished and we take the cap off, obviously somebody drinks the contents, we then take the empty bottle and fill them up in these little crates. So these crates then go off to one company that we've got that does recycling. They sterilise the bottles, give them a wash, take the label off, relabel them, fill them up again and recap them, and then bring them back to us. And it's the same with the beer barrels. So obviously that's what you'd expect with a beer barrel, but the beer barrel goes empty, we take it back, they sterilise it, repump new beer into it, and then we're not wasting a barrel every time. But the glass bottles thing for me was a must, and I tried the paper straw idea. I did buy paper straws, but yeah, people don't like paper straws. I'm one of those people. I don't like paper straws. In fact, I don't like a straw at all. But paper straws, yeah, it's never going to work in a... Well, finally, I'd just like to apologise for taking so long to make this video update, and I'd like to also apologise that it's not another motorcycle video. I would like to get back to making those motorcycle videos, and in the future that will happen. For now, I'm going through the phase of wanting to challenge myself to see if I can set up my business, run a business, and of course in an A location. And if I can do that successfully, I'll make some money so I can jump back to the UK and hopefully live on the road for a year, or just do something crazy with the motorbike. But for now, I'm gonna head home, take my toilet roll with me and my tin food. I don't know why I bought so much tin food. I've got a kitchen filled with food and I'm on lockdown for 3 weeks, so it either goes in the bin or I eat it. And I've been buying bag after bag of tin food, so yeah, absolutely crazy. But thank you for watching. I'm sure I'll see you soon. So, the government's given us the official go-ahead to reopen our bars and restaurants on the 1st of June, but obviously there's some new strict guidelines in place to keep social distancing at bay. So, yeah, today I'm here to kind of sort out the premises and make it coronavirus friendly. And, yeah, let's begin. So, I've been receiving a lot of questions, mostly through Facebook, asking about my business and how it's going to get through the coronavirus period. And amongst those questions are people asking if they can do the same. Can they set up a business with no money and make a lot of money? And the answer to all of that is yes. You just need a bit of determination and do a bit of research into the market you're getting into. So, I understand that my video where I was starting my business was a bit bland and a bit confusing, so I'm going to run through the exact process of how I started this business. First of all, I needed to find an investor and a property that I needed to invest in. And that's how I came up with this place. I knew this was being sold because it's actually somebody that I'd met here before when I'd come on holiday, and they mentioned they were selling the property and going through the process of selling it for around 800,000 euros. Now for me, that's completely unrealistic to buy, and no investor's going to give me 800,000 euros. But I knew it was also being sectioned into two pieces. So it was going to be a property plus the kitchen, or as they call it, the goodwill. So the kitchen alone was 255,000 euros. And that's currently what I'm buying. I'm buying the business name and the kitchen for 255,000 euros. So an investor has given me a lump sum of money to pay for that, and I've got to pay him back plus a load of interest. So after about 4 or 5 years, it's possible, depending how the business goes, to completely cover all my costs. On top of that, I've got the rent of the property. Now that's 6,000 a month. So I'm paying a kitchen for about 4,000 to 5,000 a month, and the rent of this property for 6,000 a month, including tax. Now we get on to the business side of it. First of all, in order to do it in this country, you have to go to a place called the gemeente, which is the municipality, and there you can register for citizenship in Holland. So you'll need to rent an apartment or just get something with your name on to show that you're actually living in this country, and then sign in at that address at the gemeente. Once you have your address logged into the system, they'll print you a piece of paper that has a BSN number on, and that's a citizen number so that you can open a bank account and do what you need to do with like proof of identity and where you live and that you're in Holland. So that's the first step. Once you have your BSN number, you need to open a business bank account so that you can obviously take money in and separate it from your private account. So that's a whole nother easy thing. Each one of these processes literally takes 15 minutes. Opening a bank, 15 minutes. Signing into the country, 15 minutes. The hard work is finding the property. And then after that, you'll need to go to the KVK, which is, it's the Chamber of Commerce. In the UK, we call it the Chamber of Commerce. Over here, it's KVK. And what you'll do there is register your business name. So you'll say, I want to open Thai Street Bar. Is the name taken? If it's not taken, you can register there and then, and that will now be your business name. You get to keep that name and trade under that name, pay your taxes through that business name, that sort of thing. And then once that's done, you're pretty much free to do what you want. So after those few steps are completed, I got to move in. Obviously I got gambling machines, so there's then contracts involved. You need to phone people and say, like, would you put in 2 gambling machines for me? I'll give you the split of the profits. Currently it's a 60-40 split for the guy that's leaving his machines here. And if there's any problems with them, I open them up and I kind of deal with any, if it jams or something, like basic things. If it runs out of coins, then we have to put our own coins back in, then we'll claim them back from the mat. Then you need, for this particular business, if you're going for a restaurant or bar, you need somebody who's working here to have a social hygiene certificate. It's a legal requirement for anyone that's serving alcohol within the Netherlands, so social hygiene is a must. And in that case, I've got Lynn, and there was another lady working here for a little while called Anne, who both had social hygiene certificates, so I don't have to worry about having one myself. Maybe in the future I will consider getting myself one. But on top of that, you've then got licenses you need, like to play music. I'm obviously broadcasting to public people that are in here, so I need a license for the music. That's about 125 euros a month. And on top of that, I've got the cash register. That's also provided by a service company, so if anything goes wrong, they come out, they fix it. It's all their responsibility for any problems with that machine, and I pay about 125 euros a month to keep that going. Now, I did notice on my last video there were a few comments about the business saying it's completely unrealistic. The figures that I've given are absolutely crazy and that it's not possible to make that much money. Realistically, from an English point of view and working in England and seeing the business models in England, yeah, you're completely right in your judgment of saying it's not possible to make that much money. Over here, not sure if I should actually say this, but the profit margin is between 75 and 85%. So everything we sell, we make about 75 to 85% profit. So from that kind of perspective, you can understand why now I saw this as a completely viable option to make that sort of money. And when I showed you the figures on my video a few videos back, I was pulling in like 40,000 a month. And when you think 85% profit, you're kind of thinking, right, that's possible. Yeah, you can pay your bills, you can do everything. You're making a bit of money on the side. It's the first time I've been able to buy like designer sunglasses, designer shoes, all the bits and pieces with the money that's coming in from that. So it does actually make a lot of money, regardless of what people may be thinking. Amsterdam is a completely different story to anywhere else in the world. The public traffic that comes by in this particular street, it's packed every single day. So when you kind of estimate around 4% of the people that walk past could potentially be coming in as your customers, and then you work out how much you're going to sell, and we're open for a long period of the day, it pulls in a hell of a lot of money. So yeah, that's basically the process you need to go through to start a business. You need to register with an address, you need to open a bank account, you need to register at the KVK Chamber of Commerce with your business name, you need a property, you need the licensing for what you're going to do in your property, whether that's social hygiene or music licenses or whatever you're kind of going for. You need the council to come out, you need the members of the commencer to come out to measure your sound readings, so you're not disturbing all your neighbours. Make sure you know your maximum settings, and you need to know roughly what you're doing with your market. So it's as simple as that to start a business. The hardest part is finding the money. If you can find an investor, it's a piece of cake. So most importantly, find an investor that's invested in you as a person and your ideas. Somebody who's going to help you along the way and really help you get through the hard times. Because if you've just got somebody who's going to throw money at you, maybe you fail, you can't make the payments back, and they're just sitting there rubbing their hands, making a quick buck, knowing the courts will take the money if you can't pay them. So you want an investor that's really going to help you, somebody that's a genuine person who can see your determination to run a business, and then you'll get somewhere. And that's the reason why I'm going to get through the coronavirus period. The investor I've got has literally just sent me over 5,500 euros to restock all my drink, all my food, my kitchen, pay the bills, just to make sure this place continues to run after the coronavirus disappears a little bit and lets us reopen. And talking of reopening, that's why I'm here today. I've got to follow the new government guidelines, which means every table must be 1.5 metres apart. I'll be limited to the number of people that I'm allowing inside. And once again, the investor's given me a bit of leniency and is going to give me a bit of the benefit of the doubt, because he knows it's a hard time and we can't pull in as much money as we'd like. So in this time, I've just got to make it kind of coronavirus friendly and take it from there, really. So that's the end of today's video. I hope it's been educational in some way to you, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. So yesterday was one of the most stressful days of business that I've ever experienced. We got loads of things that got displaced, a picture over here that got broken, and then there was a fight which left loads of scrapes and scratches all up the wall. There's also a load of mess. As you can see, I haven't had a chance to clean anything yet because it all ended a bit badly. We had 40 people inside. I was working the bar on my own because we're still in this half lockdown, so it hasn't been too busy. So for 40 people, me alone serving everyone, cleaning glasses, collecting glasses, it's just been absolute chaos. And it finally ended with everyone refusing to leave at 4 o'clock in the morning, which is the license cut-off time. So the police ended up escorting everyone out just after 5 o'clock. So for me, it was a big stressful day, lots of little problems that were developing, but on the positive side, I sold a lot of alcohol. Now there's a bin back here which normally doesn't get full, but as you can see here, it's overflowing. There's bottles all down here just because I completely ran out of room to put them. It was absolute chaos, manicness, and I'm hoping that we don't get another day like it. But like I say, lots of things got damaged. We had people that were trying to be sneaky and smoke inside. So we have a little Buddhist table here. You can see that's been used as an ashtray. Somebody's left a pint there. This dress actually has damage on it now because somebody's flipped their fag end on it. And then there was another guy that I caught smoking here. And as you can expect, I threw them straight out. But as a whole, it's given me a very unique opportunity to show you what's involved in the setup of a bar. So today I'm going to run through all the processes of what I have to do when I get in here and how to set a bar, how to get everything ready, and what preparations involved. So let's start with the cleanup. So the first job every day is to sort out the recycling, and nearly everything we're selling here is recyclable. So even the big cola bottles, they get taken away in these crates, goes to a company, they clean it up, refill it, and then we get them back. So that's the first job. Next, we change any empty barrels to make sure we've got a fresh supply of tap beer for the new day. So at the moment this one's empty, so we're going to take that off and stack it away. Now before we clip the new barrel on, we actually have to go through a cleaning process between barrels. So I'm going to hook this up to the tap, and then we have to pump all the pipes through for about 5 minutes to make sure there's no residue left in the pipe from the old keg. So, at the end of a normal shift, normally these glasses would all get cleaned and then stacked over this side, and then these countertops would all be sterilised. But due to the exceptional circumstances last night, I only had a chance to give them a quick rinse, considering it was almost 6 o'clock in the morning, and I started at midday. So, as you could imagine, I just wanted to get home, and then after having to deal with the police, it was just... So, right now, I'm going to go through and get all these cleaned up and moved over. But before we do that, we need to clean the bar. So, yeah, really does need a clean. So, as I go through the process of cleaning up the bar, you start to look for the little things like restacking straws, restacking mixers, empty the bottle caps, make new stacks of knives and forks and spoons for the day, all wrapped, and then it gives you a good head start. So, let's continue with cleaning. So that's how the bar should look at the end of every shift, but obviously because of last night it doesn't. So now we're going to move on to resetting the bar. So this now comes back over here. Now the final job for the bar is to restack the fridges. Now this is also usually done the night before, so it gets cold overnight, but here's all the drinks. We keep them all just under the bar, and then obviously the cola needs restacking, the beers need restacking, and it all has to be done in a rotation order so that we can stock check you know, expiry dates and things. So as long as the older stock comes forward first, we always take from the front and then restack left to right. So that's how it works. So because of the coronavirus at the moment, we're actually just using cling film around the bar. It is a requirement of the government for safety, and I think cling film is the best way to have a removable, renewable screen every day rather than clean it. So much better than the Perspex in my opinion. And one of the last things we need to do is a stock check. So we need to know what we've got, what we need to order in, and if we've got enough drink for the next 2 days. Generally we give it 2 days because delivery times, but normally if we do run out and we can't get it on time, there's plenty of shops to pick up an extra bottle, so we're all good. So I'm not going to insult anyone's intelligence by the last job, and that's basically mopping the floor, cleaning tables, pretty much what everyone already knows anyway. The worst part, cleaning the toilet. Imagine a heavy night of boozers in here where there's a lack of control. It's one of the worst jobs here, cleaning the toilet. But after the tables are set, the bar's set, the chef does the kitchen because they know more about the kitchen than me. They know what food they're cooking. It's a Thai kitchen and I'm not Thai. So the last thing is to take out the terrace and then we're all good for the day. So that's how the job goes in here. That's what I do every day. And apart from switching on the lights and setting the scene with some colours, that is it. So, it's a nice sunny day today, it's a brand new day, so hopefully it's going to be nice and busy and we're going to make a lot of money. But over the last few weeks, while we've been in this semi-lockdown, we've still been keeping busy. I've designed our new menu, and I designed that entirely myself, so that is the new menu. So, in the end, I did go ahead and go with the spicy burger idea, and the main reason for that is we're right next door to the very famous Feels Good's coffee shop. So Feels Good Coffee Shop is basically not a place where you drink coffee but smoke a bit of the old weed. So we get a lot of people that are quite happily stoned wandering outside, and they'll just look over and be like, "Mate, do you know where I can get like a burger, some chips or a pizza?" And be like, "Well, we've got a really great burger in here, so if you want to come in." And it's a really nice atmosphere when they come in because obviously they're quite stoned, so they're enjoying their burger, really quiet, very mellow, very polite, and then they disappear on their way. But I've also done some business connecting recently. I've connected up with the Floating Amsterdam. Now they provide shipping boat tours that go all around Amsterdam and tell you about what's going on in the area. So our connection with them is that we will now provide Thai food to them. They can take it away, take it on the boat, eat it, or they'll drop them off here where they can come inside and still eat Thai food. And we're also going through a connection with the Holland Beer Company next door. They produce all fresh beer, like real beer, not this chemical synthetic beer that you can get nowadays, but it's a real original recipe. They've got about 15 different types, and my personal favourite is called the Bitter Blonde. It's a very smooth, nice original bitter. So yeah, between connecting with those guys and connecting with the Floating Amsterdam, we're in a nice little triangle to kind of take over this part of the market. So we're just going to stay busy, keep on track, and try and do as much business as we can within this area and keep connecting. And the most recent sponsorship is from Leo. We've got a sponsorship from a supplier of Leo beer, which is a Thai beer, and they've given us free umbrella things that you put outside the front, and loads of other little discounts on kind of the beer. So we're working with them at the moment, and hopefully we can continue to grow this business. But for now, let's get back to work.
Okay, welcome to the Thai Bar in Amsterdam, #1 Thai bar in Amsterdam. Fun food, drink Thai beer, Thai food.
So, it's been a little while since my last update, and I thought I'd bring you up to speed with what I've been up to. So at the moment, the bar itself looks an absolute state, but it's not because of anything bad, it's because I've had to change my concept due to COVID regulations. So you can no longer have a bar or restaurant open, which means I've had to convert to this, which is my new takeaway. So I'll just take you outside so you can see what it looks like from the front. And of course I've got a load of dishes ready to go, easy to serve at the front as well. So there's not a case of waiting round to get things done. It's quite simply just scoop it in a pot, pack it up, and it's done. And the food is cooked fresh daily by my new chef. Now, I've got a new chef because I had to kick the old one out. It was negotiated and I gave her a time to leave, but essentially she wanted 5,000 euros a month for working in a less than busy kitchen. Normally we serve between 5 and 15 meals a day, so for a whole day that's not really that much. It's quite an easy kitchen. So somebody who wants 5,000 euros a month to sit and play their phone and not do the best job at cleaning, because I have to go behind and make sure everything's clean, but it was time for a change. And I think 3,500 euros a month is completely adequate for somebody who's 60 years old, doesn't speak Dutch, doesn't speak English, and doesn't have the qualification to cook food without supervision, which is why I've had to have 2 chefs. So yeah, she's gone. We've got the new one, which is more than fun. I'll put a video clip at the end so you can see how crazy this new chef is, because it's definitely a pull-in for the customers. And I've also got a new bar girl. Now, the new bar girl is absolutely brilliant. She's spot on, very polite, very well educated, speaks English, Dutch and Thai, so we can communicate with the vast majority of people that come in here. So it's all good news. So as for the takeaway, I'm just kind of hoping it'll be able to survive throughout the COVID time, because obviously there's not many people on the street. It is what it is. So in general, a lot of people have been asking how the financial situation is. Have I been really doing that well? Have I been making any money? And to put it politely, I've been living a very affluent lifestyle. I've been eating out 4 or 5 times a week at 5-star restaurants, which is something I couldn't do before and certainly wouldn't even think about doing. And obviously there's many other things I've done. I bought jewellery. I got this genuine gold Thai Buddha necklace. It's almost to the value of just over £2,000. So to buy little things like this, I've kind of hit the jackpot with this place. But like I said, I only wanted to keep the business for a year just to see if I could do it, see if I could keep it running, see if I could make some real money. And yeah, once you have money, it tends to bring business people towards you. So as a normal person coming to a bar before, generally people won't approach you or talk to you unless you have something to offer them. Now they see me as a business person. I've met so many rich and affluent people that are earning upwards of £8,000 to £10,000 a week. So it does show that the rich stick to the rich, and it's quite interesting to see that. But in the near future, as most of you are probably hoping for, I intend to go back to my old ways and get on the motorbike and go back touring, camping and sleeping in the dirty old woods. Nice little campfire, full English breakfast obviously, and return to my old ways. But for now, we've got another 2 months to go at least, just to make this a success, and then after that we'll look into selling the business and moving it forward, in which case hopefully I'll have enough money to continue my adventures on the road in the UK. So hopefully that will happen at some point. We'll see what goes on. Yeah, there's not really much I can say about the corona, but masks on, follow the rules, and hopefully this stuff will be over in yeah, nobody knows. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. You like what's this then? To speak English? I'm good, yeah. What's this then? You like doing takeaway and that?
What you say?
You do like food for takeaway and that?
You want to take food away on me?
Yeah, maybe later, like, but what you got now?
I have cut cowผัดไก่ green curry pie and massaman guy.
What's a kai?
Moment for that. Yes.
Well, maybe later. I might come back in a bit, like.
You come back later?
Yeah, you come back later.
You buy anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna get the pad thai thing, but I'm just gonna go down and have a look around first, see what's going on.
I see you later.
Yeah, I'll see you, mate. Take care, huh? Hello! So today's video is more of a reality check of what's been going on since I've been in Holland. Now, I know most of my videos are very upbeat, they're very, oh look what I'm doing, I'm opening a business, I'm going here, I'm getting these contracts. But the reality is, it is very difficult, it is a lot of hard work. So, the question I get asked the most is, why did I quit my job? The reason I quit my previous job, which was completely normal employment, I was working nights, most of you who follow would know that I was there from Monday to Friday, 8 o'clock at night till 6 in the morning. And the reason I quit wasn't because of the bad hours or because I didn't get on with people, it was because of a single incident that happened with the new human resources manager. Now here's a little video clip that I took prior to me leaving the company that kind of explained what the real problem was. Giving up this job was quite a hard decision, but I think it's the right decision, and the only reason I've done it was a moment of haste with the new human resources department. They've taken on a new girl. She's about 23, 24 I think, fresh out of uni, no people skills, and the way that I was dealt with on my last sickness period, and it's very rare that I am sick, I just thought it was very poor, and I handed in my notice. So that video clip was actually edited from my original video. I cut that little bit out and cut to scenes of me walking around the warehouse. But I had a huge disagreement with the human resources manager after having a few days off sick. Now, my sickness record is impeccable. I don't take sick days. It's not me. I like to be at work and do my work. So when I had this human resources manager who'd been there for 2 weeks come in and then give me like essentially a written warning and all this nonsense for having 3 consecutive sick days without a doctor's note, I was pretty annoyed, to say the least. So in an ongoing argument where she was asking me loads of ridiculous things over the email which were completely inappropriate, I decided to take the immediate action of quitting my job. Now, I can't blame it all on just this one woman. By the way, she quit 1 week after I quit, which was quite annoying and depressing, but it wasn't the only reason why I quit. There was also another reason. Now, I worked with aircraft before, and aircraft's a very safety-dominated business. Everything must be perfect, paperwork must match up, batch numbers, serial numbers, everything must be perfect, otherwise it cannot go on an aircraft. And then one day, our new manager started asking us to remove shelf life information from products. So essentially in my mind, we could have out-of-date stock on the shelf because the shelf life information has been removed. Also, we could book things in as an indefinite shelf life, so it could sit on the shelf until the point we sell it. Now, I'm just going to show you an email that I got from who I believe is still the current manager of my previous company. And as you can see, it clearly says that if you can remove labels without damaging the product, you should remove them. Now, at that point, with the human resources manager, some what I find very suspicious practices, I thought it was time to move on to my next job. So most of you have seen my video. It's about an hour long of me going from day 1 to day 50 of quitting my job, having no money, and then finally opening this crazy bar restaurant takeaway in Amsterdam. But the second video I uploaded, some of you did notice that it jumped from like day 1 to day 5 and then all of a sudden to day 78. And the reality was those 70 days were very, very difficult. It was a really challenging period. I don't want to calm it down for what it was because it was difficult. There was many things I didn't realise I had to do. Obviously being completely new to business, it's all just research and then trying to work it out yourself. But obviously the first thing I did was I had an accountant. I had to make sure all my papers were in place, so I had to make sure I could make money for an accountant. I had to find suppliers. I had to find recycling services. I had to do all the staff inductions, showing them how to use the till system. I had to learn the till system myself. I had to write a complete set of work procedures so that everything had a strict procedure in place. Like if you run out of Smirnoff and we're completely out and it fills up half a shot, you're not going to top it up with Absolute. Unless the customer wants a mix, then that's entirely up to them. But we've got procedures to make sure everything's done by the book. So how to change a beer barrel, how to do this and that. And then you've got your fire procedures, your disciplinary procedures, and all this has to be written by yourself, by me. So I spent a good 70 days just perfecting all these instructions, these procedures. We had to have fire training, first aid, we had to have social hygiene certificates to ensure everything's perfect. So it's not just as simple as me going, oh yeah, today I'm opening a business, I'm doing this. There is a lot of hidden work in the background which most people don't talk about. So obviously my latest chef, she is an absolute blessing, and she's got a very unique qualification. I think it's this one here. She is endorsed by the Royal Thai Embassy for Thai cooking. So Thai food, Thai preparation, Thai presentation, it is all endorsed by the Royal Thai Embassy. So I'm very lucky to have such a chef. So right now I have a very great team of staff. I've got the chef, I've got the 2 bar girls, I've got myself, and of course it's a nice working environment. So obviously my staff get free meals, they can eat what they want, they can drink what they want, they can enjoy it, free weekend accommodation if they need it. The hours are flexible. With the sickness policy, I don't mind, because I'm here every day, as long as it's not the weekend, because that's kind of the busy period. I don't mind if they want a holiday day or sick day, they can take it off whenever they want, short notice, just do it. So I'm a very easy employer. I find it works better for the staff, it makes a better working environment, it's more friendly as opposed to boss dominated. And I believe personally in leadership. You should lead your group, lead your team, not boss your team and tell them what to do. So it's a very nice setup at the moment. Obviously when I first opened I was working 7 days a week. We had obviously the paperwork side of things that had to be done every day. I was doing sometimes 14-hour days, 14, 15-hour days, 7 days a week for months on end. But then the coronavirus came, we've had all this nonsense come in, and it's really annoying. I don't really know what to say about the COVID-19 thing. You've got 2 sides, 2 very big divisions. You've got the people that are very strict, staying at home. You've got the people that are out in the streets protesting. It's just, yeah, I prefer to sit on the fence and not give an opinion on it, because it is a divisive option. It causes groups to split. So moving back to what I was doing, finding suppliers, had the accountant, had to give manual handling training. I always find manual handling training insulting, you know, because it's one of the simplest things in the world. Everyone knows how to do it, it's just having to sit there to make sure you've been trained to do it. So straight back, bend your knees, plan your route before you go. Trying to teach people, it's like teaching children when you go into that sort of thing. But it's a very serious issue. If you throw your back out, of course, you're going to be out of work, so it has to be done. The fire training, first aid training, we have 1 exit, so in the event of a fire, go out the exit. If that doesn't work, there is a roof panel that can be removed in a severe emergency, break the glass and get out through the top. So that's not an official route, but if there's a fire, then yeah, I'm going to be jumping through the roof. That's without saying. And then obviously the social hygiene, the embassy cooking. So you have to find somebody with these qualifications, or you have to do them yourself. Like I say, I've got the manual handling qualification, first aid, the fire training. I had to do all that before I could essentially open this place. So in the first 70 days it was very, very taxing. Now I'm going to talk about one of the biggest challenges I've had since I've been here, and I completely didn't expect it. It came out of nowhere. But you all know the beer company Grolsch. It's a fairly big Dutch company, and then obviously you've got Heineken. Now Heineken dominates Amsterdam. Every bar sells Heineken, mostly as their #1 beer. They won't have anything else on tap. Maybe some other beers, but Grolsch for me was a very unique opportunity to be one of the only bars in this area that predominantly sell Grolsch beer on tap. So after the first lockdown, I'd had no problems with Grolsch. It was a company called Henk Smit. I was dealing with Grolsch, getting all my recycling done, things like that, getting my soft drinks in. And then Grolsch done something very strange. The new batch, because obviously we have to tap out and throw away all the old beer, because it had been sat in the tap for the 2-month lockdown. I tapped it away after the first 2 weeks, I think. But after the reopening, after 2 months of lockdown, they sent in the new barrels. I ordered 3 or 4 new barrels, and they had suspicious labels on them. Now Grolsch, coming from the factory, has a circular label on the top, kind of like a seal. Well, it is a seal, it stops you tampering with it. And then it has the barcode, the batch number, the details, and the expiry date. Now this is where it gets interesting. The new batches I ordered after lockdown didn't have that label on. They'd all been pulled off. There were signs they'd been ripped off, and they had a little square printed and glued on label which had a much longer expiry date. So I was thinking, obviously we've been in lockdown, all the barrels that have been sitting in their factory, which go off after a month or two, have been label ripped off, and then a suspicious new label which gives it a little bit longer has been put on. So I went and asked them, like, what batch is this from, when was this manufactured? I want to know the manufacture date, the expiry date for whatever this barrel is. There's nothing on it that tells me anything about it. So I gave them the numbers that were on the barrel, which had nothing to do with anything on their system. And it ended up going into a legal debate about me receiving dodgy expired beer. So in the end, because they didn't want to take it further or go to court or cause any problems, whatever their reasons were, whether it was legitimate or not, it's not for me to say. But at the end of the day, we received suspicious barrels with new labels on that we immediately threw away, tapped out, and got rid of. We contacted Grolsch, and in the end, instead of going into the legal battle, they decided to take all the barrels back, get rid of them, and then they brought other barrels in, which went back to normal with the expiry dates, the original barcode labels, and the seal back on. So that was the biggest kind of thing that we had going on. And then obviously there was a second lockdown. We went through a similar thing again. More of these barrels turned up after the lockdown, and at that point I said, right, enough's enough, you know, if you're going to do this. And we took on Heineken. So now I have a fresh new contract with Heineken. I'm waiting on the sign labels, things like that. But that was one of the most challenging, weird things that I never expected to happen during opening this business. And finally, I just want to talk about my future plans and the motorcycle channel. So first of all, once again, thank you very much for the 1,000 or so subscribers that are sticking with me and watching every single video. I know you're probably all getting very bored of me talking about restaurants, takeaways and business now, and I want to go back to my passion, which is motorcycle camping. So my future plan is this: to get rid of this business to Lynn in a contractual agreement where I'm continued to be paid a sum of money for a fixed term. So essentially I would go back to the UK, I would continue my motorcycle journeys, and I would be paid money to do it from here in exchange for giving away the share of the business. So in that context, we're looking at me going full-time motorcycle touring on the road, camping, enjoying life again. Holland's not really the place I want to pursue that dream, because I think the biggest mountain in Holland, well, the biggest hill in Holland is like 300 meters, which is nothing, it's flat. Holland as a whole is just fields and flat land, and then you've got your big cities which are very business orientated. The closest you get to nature is the parks. They're all man-made, so it's not like walking through an old forest, and I really do miss that. So the future plan is to get back to the UK and pursue my new challenge, as it were, to go continuously motorcycle touring around the UK, Scotland, England, Wales, Not sure about Ireland yet, but it would be nice to get over there and just really enjoy that time on the road. Now, I actually had plans to do this journey before I quit my job. I was going to save up and save up and save up just enough money to get myself touring, because at that time the motorcycle channel was pouring in with sufficient money to cover fuel costs. And with a continuous channel schedule to be able to make videos every day, I think I could have made enough money from YouTube to continuously live on the road for a year, providing the viewers were still watching. So I actually serviced my bike before I quit my old job, done the brake pads, the oil, literally everything. So it was really annoying that a couple of weeks after that I quit my job and then the tenancy on the home ran out. It was just a series of really annoying, terrible things happening together. So yeah, that's why I ended up here with a crazy bar. And for me, this is not the particular way I want to continue with my life. So obviously my plan was to get all my gear ready and go full-time motorcycle touring in the UK, but plans changed, circumstances changed, and hopefully in the future they're going to change for the better, because drinking with customers every day and watching my health slowly deteriorate piece by piece is a little too much. So in the next year or so, there'll definitely be motorcycle camping in 2021, providing COVID allows it. And yeah, we'll go from there. So thank you for the 1,000 or so subscribers that stick with me and actively watch every video. For the rest of you, hopefully the videos will be coming back soon for the motorcycle channel. So just hold on patiently and we'll get there in the end. I'll see you soon. So, today we're entering what could be the final chapter in my business adventure, and today I officially open up my delivery service, and that's going to be with Taubezorg, Holland's #1 bike delivery service. So I've done the bar restaurant, I've done the takeaway, finally I'm ending up with the delivery service, and that's all within the space of 1 year. So it's been a great adventure. It's coming to an end with all the things that I can do within the possibilities available in this place, but today I've just been stacking up on obviously drinks to take away. There's a load of drinks here, more on the bar, more in the fridges down there. So yeah, just preparing to get ready for our first delivery. We open at 4 o'clock and I can imagine it's going to be pretty hectic because Taubezorg has put us at the top of the list for takeaway and delivery service due to us being a new company, especially in Corona times when everything's pretty dead anyway. So for the next couple of weeks leading up to Christmas, it's going to be very, very hectic in the kitchen. So that's the little delivery machine we'll be using, and that's been provided by Taubezorg themselves. And all that'll happen is it'll make a little ding noise, and then 2 receipts will come out, one for the kitchen, one for the bag, and hopefully we can get a lot of deliveries on the go. So I'm going to be sticking to the original menu, and this is the one that I pretty much designed when I first came here, and hopefully we can sell a lot of food. It's been a lot of preparation, been setting up all the sauces, the chili powders, peanuts, everything else, the fish sauces, and obviously they have to sit in the fridge for most of the day, and then we bring them out when we're about to use them. But we're only about an hour away now from our opening time. We've already got expected orders from people that are local customers that want to try out the service, so that's a good start. And I've been getting a lot of questions on kind of Facebook, YouTube, wherever, about what is the most crazy thing I bought since I've come into this sort of business and money. And to answer that question honestly, I bought a beauty product, not what you'd expect from me, called Creme de la Mer. And it's a moisturising cream, 100 millilitres, and it costs 460 euros. So 460 euros for a moisturiser, which does the same as Nivea, I guess, is the craziest thing I've bought. And yeah. Now, I'm just trying to keep this video as short as possible, so I'm just going to move on to the last thing, and that's for those of you who might be interested in what I had to buy to start this delivery service. So obviously the delivery service provides the computer, the receipt paper, and the delivery service itself with the bikes. All I had to buy was takeaway options of drinks, so cans instead of the usual glass bottles. Obviously I get money back from the glass bottles when I take them to the recycling centre, so I don't want to give away all my glass bottles. But apart from that, I've had to buy like all these packs of like bags and sealers and things that you can use for packing foods. I think they're all in here actually, where I've stacked them all up. So yeah, as you can see, we've got like the small ones for the packs of rice, the medium ones for like the curries and things, and the big ones for the much bigger dishes with lots of vegetables. And then down here, that's all the coffee. And in here, just extra cleaning products really. So we got all these rolls of till paper, bleach and things just for sterilizing the kitchen. Up here's all the napkins, and then I believe there's a lot of bags as well, normal bags, your waterproof ones, and then the paper ones just for decoration more than anything. And finally, there was one more purchase which has become a bit of a strange commodity over the last few months with coronavirus. I have bought an insane amount of toilet paper. Not because I wanted to buy an insane amount of toilet paper, but there was basically a money bar in the middle of Amsterdam that went bust through the coronavirus. Obviously they couldn't serve food, couldn't have customers in. It was more of a hotel, and then the hotel feature shut down, and they couldn't put in enough money to survive, so I offered to buy all of their toilet paper. So now I have an ample supply of toilet paper, loads of plastic boxes, cleaning products, takeaway drinks, and everything else you need to run a delivery service. So thanks again for watching today, and I will see you next time. So as you can see, I was just cutting my vegetables and watching a bit of the old FTA adventures, when all of a sudden this machine made a very loud noise. So we've got our first customer for the day. They've ordered some satay chicken, red curry and rice, which is around about 22 euros. So even if we only get one order today, that's an absolute success. But I think there's going to be a lot more. I'll see you next time.